Tony Khan has been hyping up some major announcements right before AEW descends upon Wembley Stadium for their biggest show of the year. TV rights deals, major stadium shows. What type of announcements does Tony Khan have up his sleeve? Well, we just found out one of those major announcements this week, right before AEW goes to Wembley Stadium for All In 2024. All In next year is moving out of Wembley Stadium. I got all of the latest on All In 2025, where it's going to be taking place, and why AEW will not be going back to Wembley Stadium in London. Also, Tony Khan wants to run a major stadium show in Australia, and I got some major WWE injury notes right here today on Off the Scripts. And we will start with All In. All In's moving out of Wembley. AEW is moving All In to Texas, and they're moving in to Globe Life Field. That is right, or Globe Life Stadium, where the Texas Rangers play. AEW All In will not be in London next year. Instead, they're bound for Dallas next July, not in August, in July. While the first two All Elite Wrestling branded All In shows have been based in London, England, a decision was made to move the show out of Wembley Stadium. Fightful Select has the report, and they learned that there was major consideration to having the event outside of London, dating months back. On Thursday, it was announced that All In 2025 will take place in Dallas at Globe Life Stadium. One of the reasons we were given for the announcement happening before this year's All In, instead of actually have it being announced at the show on the night of the show, it was suggested by the same source that it likely was to avoid unrealistic expectations set for announcement at this year's show, much like last year's show. Fightful's been told a return to Wembley could eventually happen again in the future. Now, AEW worked with Dallas for the residency of AEW Collision and Ring of Honor, and this was a part of the grander deal made with the city. Specifically, Kosher Irby's efforts in making the deal happen was applauded both within the company and the city of Dallas. The deal is one of those that's been worked on for months, dating back to the genesis of Ring of Honor and Collision's residency in Texas. At the time that we'd report, said Fightful, there was a stadium show in the works. The deal had not been finalized at the time of the original report. Talent were kept in the dark about the announcement until it was made publicly, which was done to keep things close to the vest. I wish that would happen more times than it normally does. Many talent knew that they were being brought into Dallas this week, but they weren't told specifically what they would be doing in Dallas. Tony Khan recently mentioned that Globe Life Field was a stadium he'd like to run and discussed that the Texas Rangers were a client of his analytics company. He also noted that AEW had no plans to run a stadium show in the United States in the immediate future. This was a couple of weeks back when people started to probe and ask questions. As it turns out, I said it then, I'm going to say it now. He may say that to avoid the question like he usually does. He's a master of dancing around the questions. But a year is not the immediate future. So this is happening in 2025, and All In will be here in the United States for the first time since the inaugural All in Chicago. This is great news. I'm very excited for AEW. I'm excited to potentially maybe be there because I did not want to travel back to London, even though I had a great time meeting all you fans out there that love what I do and love the show. I did not want to travel. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that there was something special about the show happening in Wembley Stadium for the first time. There was just a buzz to the overall vibe of what was going on. I got there. It was just this buzz I can't really explain. And I got that buzz early on. I'm going to London. I'm going to All In. I'm excited to be a part of history. I did not get that feeling this year. And believe it or not, the build for this year's show is better than the build for last year's show. So I don't get that buzz this year for whatever reason. This is a great move. The more you do the event like this, in this case, All In, the more you do an event at the same building, at the same stadium, at the same arena every single year, it becomes less and less and less than the law of diminishing returns. And I feel like that special feeling will just continue to wear off year over year over year. And I'm sure everybody's seen it. I've seen it. I've called it out. I know you guys have seen it. I'm sure Tony Khan has seen it. He's a very analytical numbers guy. Last year, they did 81,000, and this year they did just about 50,000. So if they did it for third year in a row, how many of those 50,000 would still be in London next year for a third installment of All In at Wembley Stadium? It would probably be less. Globe Life Stadium runs about 45,000 people. And given the stage setup and the production side of things, AEW is probably looking at about roughly 40,000 people. That's a great move for AEW. To move it here to the United States, to give fans here a taste of what they do for the biggest show of the year, they should be confident in the show and what they've built up equity-wise with the show to bring it here to the United States and have confidence that it's going to sell out or at least be close to a sellout. I think that's great. The most important thing that I look at as far as this is the fact that it's taking place in July. Right now, it's taking place 2 weeks from now at the end of August. We got All In, and then we go right into Bash in Berlin, and then 2 weeks after All In, we got All Out. There's not much for a build. Creative is working overdrive. They're working overtime here. So whatever AEW is doing right now for the priority that is All In and the build creatively for All In, at the same time, they also have to worry about how they're building to All Out, because you don't want to focus primarily and only on All In and then, oh, shit, we got a show 2 weeks later at All Out and we got no fucking matches, we got no build, we got no direction. You don't want that to happen. But believe it or not, AEW has done a solid job or a solid enough job to build to All In this year, and they are slowly integrating things that are going to play out at All In that go and bleed into All Out. So they've done a great job with that this year. Normally, they don't do a good job with that at all. Last year was a fucking disaster. Last year, All Out was a great in-ring product, but there was no story. There was no story going into All Out. And then they expect people to pay another $50 on top of what we paid for All In, 50 and 50. I mean, it's ludicrous. So creatively, the biggest takeaway from this is that it's happening in July and that AEW now going into August and then Labor Day weekend, because you know it pained Tony Khan to move All Out away from Labor Day weekend. He loves his holidays. He loves his bank holidays. So the fact that All In is taking place in July, it gives AEW much more time to do what they need to do to build for All Out. So now we got Revolution, we got Double or Nothing, we got AEW Dynasty, we have Forbidden Door, we have All In, we have All Out, we have Wrestle Dream, Full Gear, and World's End. So now everything right now, again, I got to give AEW credit, things are now spaced out. Revolution takes place at the end of February, early March. From there, we go into May, into Double or Nothing. Then, actually, we had Dynasty was in April, right? We go April, May. So they had a nice month in between all these shows. Revolution, Dynasty, Double or Nothing. We go right into Forbidden Door. And then from Forbidden Door, we go into All In. And now All In's going to be going into All Out. Things are spaced out. I'm assuming Forbidden Door would be in June. All In would be in July. All Out would be in September. Then Wrestle Dream in October. Full Gear in November, World's End in December. So AEW, this is the most important takeaway for me personally. Not only are they leaving all this time to now build into All Out, they have now spaced out their pay-per-views for the entire year and have given the pay-per-views enough time to breathe back to back to back to back going into one another. To me, that's the biggest takeaway. So I don't know how you guys feel about this. I may be making plans to be in Texas. I think that's great. I think there's going to be that buzz that we felt in year one for All In going into Texas. And good on AEW for making the jump, because I was worried, oh, here we go, another year at Wembley Stadium, 3 years in a row. It's not going to be as special as it was in year one. This is going to be getting AEW back to that special feel. So I'm very excited about this. And like I always say, man, it doesn't matter where it takes place, honestly. I hate when people or promoters run the same building every single fucking year because it's a tradition. You don't need to rest your laurels on tradition, honestly. If you want to grow, why are you going to run the same market and water down that market over and over and over again and ruin that special feeling? If AEW wants to grow, they need to get their biggest brands and their biggest name events out to newer markets that they've never been before, markets that have never felt this type of move or event from AEW. So this is a great move for them. I'm very excited. And if they want to grow, more moves like this need to be happening moving on into 25, into 26. Another thing that AEW is planning is possibly an Australian stadium show for 2025. This was also broken by Fightful. The promotion is reportedly planning to hold a stadium show in Australia. The Sporting News reports the promotion is planning to hold a stadium show at a venue in Australia in 2025. Plans have already advanced as the promotion has scouted venues on the east coast of the country. As potential host sites, venues that have been looked at include Sydney's Allianz Stadium, Melbourne's Marvel Stadium, and Brisbane's Suncorp Stadium. The entertainment company TEG will support the AEW event. The product currently airs on ESPN in the country and in New Zealand. Now, I think that is a little bit outside of their realm. I think they're really jumping into uncharted territory there, but this gives AEW a possibility to bring back that special feeling that I just mentioned about All In. Go into a stadium in a country for the first time that they've never been in, there's going to be that buzz. So for a first time, if they're going to do that, it's going to do incredibly well for AEW. They want to do that year over year over year. They want to run that back in 2026 per se and run the same stadium. It's not going to have that special feeling. But for a first time, listen, man, first time is everything. First impressions are everything. I think that's a great idea too. But again, jumping into Australia might be a little bit out of their league right now. I don't know what the vibe is with AEW over there. I don't know if it's going to be as hot or rabid as it is in London. It may end up being just as hot as it was for the first Wembley show for All In. I don't know. But again, I appreciate and I respect AEW taking the risks, no matter how risky they may be, taking the risks to grow their brand on a global level. So that is exciting news. If you're from Australia or in the vicinity of any one of these three potential stadiums, that's exciting news to you. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Some WWE injury notes. We got Raquel Rodriguez and Dakota Kai injury notes. I know there are a lot of Dakota Kai stands out there. Dakota Kai is injured. News broke earlier this week about Dakota Kai being injured, which has made her inactive from wrestling. The Damage Control stable is now babyface, and they're moving on without Dakota Kai. It's only Kairi Sane and Io Sky. Asuka is also on the sidelines as well. The result in the injury is a tear in her meniscus, with the expected return timetable being 8 to 10 weeks on the sideline as a result. PW Insider reports that the backstage report from the company is that there's a lot of sympathy for her as she's very well liked and respected. Although WWE gave the timetable listed for 8 to 10 weeks, there is no concrete date set. The internal hope is that she will be back in the ring on television as WWE begins the build-up for Survivor Series in late November. Kai returned to the ring months after she was sidelined for nearly a year when she tore her ACL in May 2023. Not really a lot of exciting news there as far as her making a return for Survivor Series, which we all know is War Games, as Damage Control is feuding with the Pure Garbage collection. So I'm assuming that is being, I want to say seeds are being planted for that to be the women's War Games match for Survivor Series. Yawn, snore, buy me a pillow, and put me to sleep. I don't care. I'm sure the match will be fine if it's going to end up being the women's War Games match, but I mean, who gives a shit? Dakota Kai, I feel bad for her. It always seems like she's injured, but she'll be back on television supposedly in 8 to 10 weeks. I don't have any emotional investment in anything that Damage Control and the Pure Garbage collection are doing. My garbage collection's on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I'm assuming they'll be picking up my garbage. No. I don't care about anything that's going on there, but Dakota Kai out 8 to 10 weeks. It just felt like she was just starting to get her wheels going as well as the leader of Damage Control, but here we are with another injury. The women's division this year, man, just ravaged with injuries, and she's going to be out 8 to 10 weeks. Raquel Rodriguez, another injury on the WWE women's side of things. She will be back very, very soon. Raquel Rodriguez has been away for several months as she continues to battle mast cell activation syndrome. This was something that she first revealed in January. The American Academy of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology notes that mast cell activation syndrome is a condition in which the patient experiences repeated episodes of symptoms of allergic symptoms such as hives, swelling, low blood pressure, difficulty breathing, and severe diarrhea. That sounds awful. High levels of mast cell mediators are released during these episodes. Because of this, she had to take time off from the company. She returned in February for the Elimination Chamber, and she qualified for the match. Her condition flared up ahead of the show, but went through with it anyway. Her last match was a win over Chelsea Green in a squash match on the February 26th episode of Monday Night Raw. Things have changed since then, for sure. Following that, she was pulled from television. And now it's being reported by PW Insider as of last month that there have been internal discussions about Rodriguez returning to WWE TV in the near future. However, it's unclear what exactly Rodriguez is going to do when she comes back and when she could be back on television. Rodriguez shared on her Instagram stories that she was getting blood work done at a regenerative center, which is partnering with the Rejuve Stem for cellular therapy. This has helped her skin and made her feel and look better than she has in months, as she has explained on her social media. Good for her. I'm glad she's getting back. That sounds fucking terrible. I would not wish that on anybody. Hives, swelling, low blood pressure, difficulty breathing, and severe diarrhea, man. That's not a fun time. But Raquel Rodriguez, man, coming back to a very, very different WWE than it was in February. Where's she going to fit in? How is she going to fit in creatively? I don't know. So we'll figure out when we get there. But, just looking at the names of everybody that's been out this year for the women's division, man, Asuka's out. Becky Lynch is a free agent. It's not even tied to the company contractually. Rhea Ripley was out. Raquel Rodriguez is out. Asuka is out. Dakota Kai is out. I mean, that's a stack. That's a division in itself right there. So we got Rhea Ripley back, and things are now progressing very nicely with the feud with Liv Morgan. But the women's division, especially on the Monday Night Raw side, man, has been ravaged with injuries, and Becky Lynch is out. Who knows when she's coming back? But I'm glad Raquel is on the mend here. It'd be nice to get her back. Maybe we tweak her character a little bit. She was very smiley, very babyface-esque. It sounded and felt forced. So I don't know how she factors in creatively, but I'd like to see a different take on Raquel when she gets back, man. She's got a nice presence about her. She is very good, when she wants to be. So we'll see what happens with Raquel. But that women's division, man, could use all the help that it could get, honestly. But thank you guys very much for all your support. Let me know what you think of All In. Let me know what you think of All In coming to Texas. Will you be there? Are you excited about it? Do you not give a shit about it? Let me know. Sound off in the comments below. It's been a busy week, and I'm going to try and get as much content out for you guys as we round out this week here on Off the Script. Make sure you guys follow me on social media, at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Please go follow the second channel. I'm going to be uploading clips of all the live streams when necessary to the second channel, so it's easily digestible for you guys, and maybe we get some new fans coming on over this way to take in the full live stream experience that I do better than anybody, man. So make sure you guys go and follow that link, for that is down in the description. Go check out all the other shit on the channel. We were live for Monday with Raw, Tuesday Night Titans, me and the Solid Monster, Wednesday night, last night with Jesse for the AEW Dynamite post. Everything you need is linked down in the description and on the homepage, so please go check that out. And please hit that thumbs up. Let's try for 1,000 likes today on OTS. Guys, next time you see me, we'll be live right after SmackDown. Roman Reigns in Orlando. What does he got to do? What does he got to say? We'll figure it out on Friday Night Live right after SmackDown right here on OTS. I'll see you guys later.